everyone, and welcome back to Irish Wifey TV. I hope you all are doing fine. If today is your first time tuning into my channel, or if you're just passing by, hello there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to hit on the red subscribe button and turn on your notification bell on, so each time I upload the video, you will be notified. And to all of you who keep coming back to my channel, or all of you who have subscribed to my channel, I really want to say thank you so much for your love and support. So today I'll be talking about how I moved to the UK, visa, language, cultural shock, and settling in. So if you're interested in knowing how all this happens, then keep watching to the end. Basically, I moved to the UK on a student visa, and I came to do my master program, which was 18 months. And from the beginning to the end, like when I started to when I got to the UK, England, it took me roughly 10 weeks. So, and I remember I had a phone call after submitting all my documents. I didn't write the English language because English language during that time, we were being told, like, if you have English language during your GCE ordinary level, then you are not supposed to write the English test. And GCE ordinary level is the exam that we write in Cameroon. We write it before we get to the high school, and from the high school to the university. So basically, I didn't write the English language. And once I submitted all my documents, and obviously I had to translate them again. All my documents, some of my documents were in French, so I had to translate them to English. And once I translated them, I submitted it. I had a phone call from the university, and we had a brief interview. Basically, they were asking me questions about how am I going to pay my school fees, if I'm aware that I have to work just 20 hours, and yeah, and again, they wanted to find out if I could express myself in English. So that's how everything was. It was so straightforward. And later, after 2 days, after the interview, 2 days later, I had my CAS letter, which I had to take it to the British consulate. And in Cameroon, we haven't got the British embassy, so we have to take it to the consulate. And when I got there, within 2 weeks, I got approved. I got my visa. And yeah, I had to start making my traveling, everything. And yeah, I came to the UK. Moving down to the UK, obviously, with the language, I didn't really have a lot of challenges with the English language because I could express myself in English, but I wasn't that great because of my pronunciation. Obviously, coming from a French background, my pronunciation was not that great, and I'm so sure even now I'm still like, I'm still learning. My pronunciation wasn't that great, and I remember some of my friends were always like, when I said something, they were like, "What's that? What do you mean?" Like, I had to explain and explain, or sometimes I'll just talk by examples for them to really get it, especially my British friends. So that was the only challenges that I faced with the language. And yeah, so the next is the cultural shock. And obviously I've made a video about the cultural shock, so I'll highly recommend you to watch it after watching this one, but I'll just highlight some of the points here. And when I moved to the UK, obviously I noticed the British people are really so attached with their pet. Like, you go to the supermarket, restaurant, you see them carrying their pet, kissing it. It was a cultural shock to me because where I'm coming from, Cameroon, we do not really have the affection as compared to the British people, like the way they are really attached to their pet. The next is the weather. It is so cold here in the UK. In England, it's so cold during winter season. And someone coming from Cameroon, which is a very hot country, we have just raining and dry season, which is like summer and spring over here. It was a cultural shock to me. And I remember the first time I saw the snow. I was so excited. I was jumping, eating the snow. Yeah, it was definitely a cultural shock. The next is the way the kids talk to their parents back here in the UK. Like, when the parents talk, the kids talk back to them. In Cameroon, you do not do that. Tu ne fais pas ça parce que quand tes parents parlent, tu leur parles, mon ami, tu vas confirmer le code. On va te louper. La gifle qu'on va te donner. So yeah, that was a cultural shock as well. And another one is the way that the British people display their love affection in public. Obviously, you see people walking in streets, holding hands, kissing each other. In Cameroon, we do not really do it that way. Obviously, we consider all the lovey things is bedroom. Those are things that should be done in the bedroom. So we do not really do it that way. Sometimes even people might do it, like, but it's really like in the evening time, around 6 p.m. but we don't do it that way, like holding, kissing. Yeah. And another thing under the cultural shock is the fact that I had to learn how to use the bus, the train, read the maps and the tram, because obviously if you are in the UK and you do not know how to read the maps and you're traveling, you might get lost. So yeah, that was another thing that I had to learn, and I had to learn it so fast. So moving down to settling in wasn't really a great experience. Obviously, I was really homesick because when I moved here, I just came here just by myself. My families were back at home, my friends, and yeah, it was so difficult for me. It was really so difficult, especially the first year. And again, I was at home for 2 weeks before I started going to school. So everything was really, really, really weighing on me. And I remember very well, there was a day that I had to call my mom, and I told my mom, like, I can't do this, I'm just coming back, I can't do it, I can't do it. And my mom, being who she is, she was like, okay, are you serious, are you serious that you're coming back? I said, yeah, I'm so serious. And she was like, okay, you're free to come back, but on one condition. And she was like, if you're coming back, make sure you bring all my millions that I've used in sending you to England, like all the money I've spent in your school, everything. Just keep all my millions and come back. And if you're from Africa and you hear your parents saying that, obviously it's indirectly telling you that you have to stay there because you don't have the money. So how do you expect to go back to that house that you haven't got the money? So it was just like my mom was indirectly telling me that you have to stay there and fight for yourself, which was obviously what I did. I just had to adapt myself, and I was just calling them, and I met good friends. Up to now, some of my friends, we are still in contact. And yeah, but things began to change when I met my husband. Things were not really that as before when I met my husband, even though up to now I still feel homesick, but not like when I just moved to the country. It was really so difficult. So yeah, that's the way I moved to the UK, and those were my experience. And yeah, I hope you do like this video, and don't forget to give a thumbs up and share my video. Stay tuned till next time. Bye bye.